Hey, good to see you again. The factory sent over the parts that were looking good on the rig. They're being fitted as we speak. Have a look at the report.
What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new career mode episode for round number 3 at the Bahrain Grand Prix. As you can see, once again another upgrade on the car for this race. Once again sticking with the reliability. As you can see here, just briefly looking at the R&D tree, and Force India actually bringing a big upgrade for this race weekend, and they're not showing no signs of stopping. So my former team still pushing forward here and trying to improve the development of their car. So really good to see, and at the same time it's going to be also very interesting, but that's going to bring the top 4 even closer together here. So very interesting scenes here as we go into Bahrain. But hope you guys have been enjoying this new, not new but refreshed career mode with Mercedes, and hopefully the higher quality has also been a good hit with you guys. 1080p videos, slightly higher bit rate, and hopefully you've been enjoying it, because I'm trying to push this channel now a little bit in the right direction. Also, I'm planning on having a new mic hopefully soon after Black Friday. I'm not going to say much more because I'm thinking of getting it, but I'm not 100% convinced. But there might be some positive changes on the channel soon regarding, obviously, quality's already taken place, and now I'm looking at trying to improve the sound. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to plenty of exciting stuff on the channel very soon. Also, I'm planning on a few other series coming along very soon to join up with career mode and also mix up the variety on the channel. But for now, we are sticking with career mode for a little bit longer, and we're here for practice on Friday for Bahrain. As you can see, getting the car shaken down and getting a feel for the track, and the track that, you know, up until last season wasn't a track that I particularly did work very well at. My pace seemed to be pretty poor, and also the AI seemed to be pretty quick. So I had that in the back of my mind going into this weekend, and realising that I had to be on my A game this weekend and driving the best I possibly could, because the pressure was on and I needed a car to be absolutely hooked up around there. And after Friday practice, I felt pretty good. I thought the car had, you know, it had some good performance behind it, and we're going to put it to the test now as we jump into qualifying here into Q1. And on the super soft compound tyres, the fastest compound available here in our first lap of Q1. It's actually our best lap there for P5, and that will hopefully see us through comfortably into the second part of qualifying into Q2. So overall, good way to start the session. Lewis Hamilton, my teammate, opting for the soft compound tyres, as did Kimi Raikkonen and also Max Verstappen there. So couple of mixed strategies early on in Q2. Just like in the last race in China, I've opted for the soft compound tyre. Don't pay no attention to the lap times, as they aren't properly referenced lap times. For some reason, the AI haven't really set a really competitive lap. But as you can see, going through the final corner now onto the main straight, we're going to see what this lap is on soft compound tyres. We are going to shoot straight to the top of the timesheets with P1, but like I said, don't read into the lap time too much, as other guys will set more competitive lap timers. But with only a few minutes left on the clock, that would actually be our last lap of the session, and we would get through in P7 there. Lewis Hamilton taking second place, Sebastian Vettel opting for the softs this time, and also Ricciardo. So those two will be on the same strategy as me in the race tomorrow. So something to keep an eye out for the race tomorrow. But as you can see, in Q3 now, our first lap gets us P5, so not too bad. But we're now going to jump on board for my best lap around qualifying. I've got to say, a really good lap. I really hooked it up around there, and I was very happy with this one once the lap ended. So as you can see, first corner already, 100 meter ball, you want to try and get it all slowed down, and then through turn 2, through the kink, you want to try and keep it, you know, balls deep, flat out, try and power through it. Then turn 3, obviously not really much of a threat, and then turn 4, 100 meter ball, brake just after it, down to 4th gear, pick up the apex, avoid mid corner speed to try and get a better exit, which is very important as we now go into the S section. And so far, purple first sector, so really good pace so far as we now go into this downhill sort of swooping, almost hairpin right hand, a very tricky corner. This one easy to lock up. And then speaking of easy to lock up, turn 9, which feeds into turn 10, the tricky corner here, and I've already locked up a little bit on entry, but we managed to get the nose back in and pull it back as we now open up the DRS here, and we are up quite substantially on our delta. So things are looking pretty good as we go into the remaining part of the lap now. Going now up the hill here, ascension climb through the left hand, and then flicking the car, bringing it over to the left hand side, flicking it right over the hill, and let's see what the split time is over the second sector. Still pretty good actually, purple middle sector, so we are still on the money here. We've only one more sector to go, and it's very good speed onto the back straight here. So far the lap going to a very good start, and it's also looking like a good ending so far as we go into the final corner. Last chance to not bottle it, very nicely done, aggressive over the curbs, using all the track available. I probably turned a little bit too early there, which wasn't ideal, but still not too bad. As we come across the line, we go second place behind Kimi Raikkonen, so not too bad, and a pretty damn good solid lap there. And eventually we would end up the session in 4th place, and Lewis Hamilton gets second place, Raikkonen 3rd, and Sebastian Vettel takes pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So Very, very interesting qualifying there. Both of the Force Indians out qualifying the Red Bulls after bringing the upgrade that I mentioned to this race weekend. But P4 for us on the grid, very solid, just like in China P4. But I feel like we got a good car underneath this weekend, so hopefully we can do some damage tomorrow on Sunday for the race. Right, so here we are then on the grid at Bahrain. P4, just like in China, but this time a little bit of a different scenario because I felt like China was a track where I left a little bit of time on the table, maybe not sure on the setup, but this is a track where after qualifying I feel like I got the absolute max out of the car, so it's going to be hard today I think to get a podium. We're going to have to really try it hard here today and really pull one out the bag on the strategy front, because that's the only way we're going to make something happen today, and hopefully we don't bottle it like China, because we was on for a podium that race. So you can definitely say at the moment the car is improving. You know, it's good, the car's good, but it's not as good as I want it, and it's not where it should be at the moment, because I'm still having to like fight it a little bit and drag it through. Also, Hamilton's putting in better performances than me, because obviously, you know, he has been at the team for a few years now, and he's obviously more used to the car and the team and the surroundings than I am. But still, in terms of the race strategy for today's race, you can see this is based off of Friday practice where I did it in the daytime. So I'm not entirely believing what I'm seeing on screen right now. So we're going to take it with a pinch of salt and go for the strategy basically on the fly. I would like to do the one stop from softs to mediums. However, I have noticed there seems to be a lot of tyre wear around here this year. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, all we're going to do is just boost up the fuel and be a little bit more conservative on that front. But I'm looking forward to the race, and I think strategy wise we can make something special happen. And also I think our race pace is a little bit better than qualifying. I might be wrong, and also I feel like the car performs better once the conditions and the temperatures drop a bit. So I'm looking forward to the race eventually in the second half of the race, finding a little bit more pace. But other than that, I'm looking forward to the race, guys, and hopefully you are too. So without further ado, we're going straight into it now for round number 3 of the season at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. Bahrain, 5 red lights on the grid here. Let's try and have a good start. And it's lights out and away we go, and it's a pretty okay-ish start, nothing spectacular. No wheel spin to be fair, so it's pretty good so far. Got a full in my inside who I'm going to cover off using the pit wall as a defensive measure. And we've got Ocon here making the move as we're going to turn on for the first time. Vettel leads the way on the soft compound tyres. Hamilton and Raikkonen go side by side. Ocon just comes across my path slightly there. Just got to try and take some evasive action, but Hamilton into second place. Raikkonen slipstreaming him all the way up into turn 4 here, and this is going to help me out. Hamilton once again putting his car in between the two Ferraris and getting in the way, and so far Hamilton, you know, compared to the last 3 seasons, really coming alive this season. I wonder if maybe having a new teammate in the form of myself, obviously giving him a new challenge, as maybe giving him new lease of life and new pace, because he seems way more aggressive this season than past seasons gone by, and he's doing a good job so far. But so far Vettel leads the way, like I said, on the soft compound tyres, so we should have similar pace to him, hopefully, and he should be able to streak away, so that's going to hopefully hold up Raikkonen and Hamilton a little bit. So let's see how this race pans out, but so far it's a very good opening lap for us. Right, we're under threat here, and Esteban Ocon's going to try and go for the move. The Force Indians look very racy this weekend around this circuit. They brought a major upgrade, I noticed, before practice, and they've actually pretty much now drawn level with Red Bull in the performance chart. So even though I've left the team, they're still pushing on as a constructor here, and it's almost like the prize money that I've won them over the last few years has really helped them, you know, invest that into some development. So Force India looking strong here this weekend. This is a track that seems to suit their car better than Red Bull, which is obviously something that I noticed last season when I raced around here. But meanwhile, Vettel has lost the lead, as you can see. He's now down to P3. Lewis leads the way, and those super soft tyres are actually really working at the moment for everyone that's on them. Myself and Seb seem to be struggling on these soft compound tyres quite a bit. So something to keep in mind for the rest of the race in terms of the strategy front, because obviously if these tyres ain't working, then is there any point going back on them? But like I said, once the conditions go down a bit and they dim a little bit into the darker night, then that seems to suit my car better. So at the same time, we've got to keep our strategy options open. So right now, it's a little bit all over the place, but the critical thing here is that we try to catch up to Sebastian for now. Right, here comes Ocon once again, DRS wide open. Also, Sergio Perez not too far behind for company, also with DRS enabled here. So we're going to be under attack into the first corner. I'm going to try and go around the outside again, nice and deep on the brakes. We've made it work, I think, and we're going to stay ahead. And I think Perez has actually overtaken Ocon, to be fair. So we've stayed ahead of the Force Indians for now, but I've got to really try and find some pace at the moment. I'm really struggling. I am still matching Sebastian, though. He's not pulling away from me, so I think it's got to be a soft tyre, I think, because we're both struggling at the moment. Okay, so Vettel pits off of the soft tyres, and so has Hamilton as well. He's coming off the super softs. So I think Vettel might be struggling on his tyres. Raikkonen says that for one more lap. I'm going to expect him in at the end of this lap, but basically, if everyone's coming to the 2-stop, including Sebastian Vettel, then we've got to commit to the 1-stop if we want to make anything happen in this race, because my pace is not on the same standard as the top 3. So if we want something to happen, we've got to go for the different strategy. So in terms of my tyre wear, Rear left struggling on 42%, but I reckon if I get that to lap 12, I can do the one stop. So that's the plan. So we're going to have to try and get these tyres basically in the safe zone, try and take it easy on the tyres, and try and get them to lap 12. And that way we can pull off the one stop and then be in the mix for the race win, or at least the podium. Right, Raikkonen is in the pit lane, so that's going to promote me into first place. Raikkonen goes for soft compound tyres, so that confirms the two stop. So let's see what our pace is like on these worn tyres, and let's see if we can keep this up for 3 more whole laps. Pace still good, only within 2/10 of my best lap. I mean, the rears are struggling, but if I focus, I can get it all together here. Okay, through the final corner, the gap is now down to 5.3. Raikkonen's pace is absolutely incredible, and also my pace has now officially dropped off, but I've managed to make it work, and I managed to get the tyre length out. So now we're going to come in and we're going to go for a set of medium tyres and try and get these to the end, because this is the only way something's going to happen in this race. And now, as soon as I get on track, we'll do obviously the first lap out just to get a feeling for the tyres, and then straight from the next lap we're going to hammer it into rich mix and just pump in the lap times. That's the only thing we can do, just go as hard as we can for as long as we can now, and hopefully with the conditions and hopefully with the night skies coming soon, we can hopefully find some more tyre life and also find some pace. Crucially, we are going to rejoin ahead of Ricciardo, just behind Ocon unfortunately, but there is a 2-car train just behind here with Ricciardo and Verstappen, who we're going to join just in front of, so that's critical for us to have some clean air. But now we've got to make sure that they don't get in the way of our battle and overall pace, so we have to try and pull away from them now as much as we can. Right, 1 minute 31 dead, that's a bit more like it, a bit more better pace. Still nothing spectacular, but the pace is good enough. We just got to keep this up now. 1 minute 30.7, picking up the pace even more. Ocon's pace is actually really, really good. I'm really impressed, and that car is actually working very, very nicely indeed, and very surprised. Right, Ocon comes in. I've just knocked it down back down to standard mix because obviously I've run out of rich. Also, Vettel's in the pit lane there, and he's going on to medium tyres, interestingly enough. I was expecting him to go on a more aggressive compound, so that's going to neutralise Sebastian's threat a lot more than I expected. If Raikkonen and Lewis do the same thing, I'll be very, very happy indeed, but right now, I actually doubt if I'm actually going to be ahead of Raikkonen once he pits, because my pace has been good, but it's not been incredible. I feel like last season we was faster in the Force India. I don't know why, I just feel like I haven't got the pace today around here. I'm really, really struggling for some overall race pace, and I don't know where to find it from. I mean, I'm going to keep going, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see how things shape up, and we could be in trouble here. Right, Lewis in the pit lane. He's also going into medium tyres. The question is Raikkonen in the pit lane as well? Yes, he is. So there's Raikkonen. He's closer towards the exit end, also going onto medium tyres. So this is very good news for me, because this is going to neutralise the threat of these guys a lot more, the fact that they're on the same tyre as me. Raikkonen is very close, unfortunately, so he's going to be on the back of me very soon on those fresh mediums. But luckily, like I said, the pace difference won't be that extreme. My tyres are holding up okay so far, but I'm going to be 20% wear down basically on the other 3. So let's see how this all shapes up. Vettel's also managed to undercut Lewis Hamilton, so hopefully Lewis can get his act together, because it could be another Ferrari 1-2 here, and that's not what I want. Oh, Daniel Ricciardo out of the race. Big retirement here from the Bahrain Grand Prix, and I think we got a safety car from it as well. Have we? Yes, no, virtual safety car. Damn it. If it was a full safety car, I would have actually come in for super softs and try to make this race a bit more comfortable for me. I mean, if the VSC stays out until the end of the lap, then I'll consider coming in for supers, but I don't think it's going to come out. I think we're too far away from the pit lane. Okay, race back underway. The only good thing about that is I've got a little bit of fuel saved up thanks to that VSC, so I can now use Rich Mix to defend for pretty much the rest of the race if we need to. So I'm ready for Raikkonen's attack. I've had a pretty poor exit out of the final corner here. I'm already in Rich Mix to try and defend from Raikkonen. Here he comes. DRS wide open. I'm going to pull to the inside. We've got to give him a good old squeeze here into the apex, and hopefully I can take the faster outside line, just like we was doing at China at the hairpin. Hopefully that'll work for us as we go around the outside of Raikkonen. There we go. We stay ahead for now. Very nicely defended, and we're going to stay in first place for at least a little bit longer here. Alright, Raikkonen's very close again here, so we're just going to sort of move our way gradually over to the right hand side. Here comes Kimi. He's going to go to the outside this time into turn 1. Let's see if we can try and match him on the brakes into the first corner. Lock up on the right front there. We're just going to sort of squeeze him out, and there we go. We're going to hold on to first place for a little bit longer here, and Raikkonen is struggling to find a way through, which is very good for me to see. The only issue is now Hamilton and Vettel will start catching up if we keep battling, so it could get very tasty. Right, here we go onto the main straight once again. Raikkonen slipstreaming with DRS wide open. He's not getting that much this time. I'm actually keeping him quite far behind, and I think we're going to comfortably hold on to this one into the first corner. Vettel, though, is lurking as I lock up a little bit on the right front. First sign that the tyres are starting to go a little bit now, so we've got to be careful with these. We've got to try and nurse them, as we've got 5 full racing laps to go here in this race. Right, here comes Kimi. He's had a much better exit out of the final corner this time, and he's going to try and go for the move as he pulls to the inside. we've got to try and defend this. And also Sebastian is coming for company here. So here we go into the first corner. Raikkonen's actually going to get us slowed down pretty late. I'm going to go right to the outside. Can we commit to this? Can we hold the inside through turn 2? Raikkonen's going to keep his car there as we go through turn 3 up into turn 4. I'm just going to manage to use the rich mix to get my car in front. And now Vettel's going to the outside here on Raikkonen, also having a look around my outside here. But Vettel has completely mugged off Kimi there and made the move into second place. Fantastic stuff, but we're going to hold on critically onto first place for now. But the car is starting to show signs of struggle, and the engine is not exactly new anymore, and the tyres are starting to fade now. My tyres are about 20% more worn than anybody else, almost double, so we are going to be struggling on these for a little while. Okay, here comes Sebastian Vettel. He's going to get a good run on me into turn 1. He's had the perfect exit and he's got a perfect slingshot. As we go into the first corner, he's going to go for the outside line this time. I want to go for the inside, try and squeeze him out a little bit. He's still holding it though on my outside. I'm just going to go around the outside of turn 2 and just hold on. This is getting very hard to hold on to now. Hamilton has now joined the fray, and it's a 4-way battle for the race win here at Bahrain. This is going to get very, very tense. Okay, here comes Kimi once again. Now he's overtaken Vettel. I've stayed in standard mix for this one because I haven't got much rich mix left, and I need to save a little bit. So here we go around the outside of Kimi Raikkonen. We are going to hold it quite comfortably. I've still got the tyres left for that, but I've got to be very careful I don't lock up because I'm really pushing that brake zone now and pushing my luck with it quite a bit. But we are going to hold on. It looks like the first place. Right onto the last lap of the Grand Prix. I'm back up into rich mix. This time I've got the speed to defend it. So here comes Raikkonen. He's going to pick up the DRS and pick up a slipstream on me. I'm going to go defensive. Here comes Sebastian as well. It might become 3-1 into the first corner here. We're going to hold the inside line onto the curb slightly. There's Raikkonen just behind. No one's actually committed to the move, and we're going to hold on. Vettel's actually made the overtake though on his teammate, and that's going to buy me some breathing space. And now Hamilton's getting involved. So luckily for us, we are going to hold on to first place, and I think now we are safe unless I make a major mistake. So let's just try and bring this one home. But it looks like now those guys having a 3-way scrap for the runner-up position, and Vettel seems to have come out on top. So let's just try and push now and try and hold on to this gap for the rest of the lap. Right into the final corner. Looks like we are going to survive from Sebastian Vettel. He's not going to make a dive into the last corner. So we've just got to get the traction on. There we go. Very nice job. And that's it. I think we've got it. We're going to pull over to the right-hand side, and we're going to win the 3rd race of the season at Bahrain. 2nd race win of the year. What a performance. And unlike Australia, that one was deserved because was more, it had more merit to it, because Australia was just the conditions and the AI stupidly going for a 2-stop, and also the conditions wise they seem to have messed it up, but this one was just pure pace. And we managed to hold on to it. That was really, really intense. And also I felt way more comfortable defending around this track than I did around Australia. So that was very, very good indeed. And what a race that was. Really enjoyed that one. And the car felt very good. To say we was limited on the pace, that was pretty damn good in my opinion. And the car, even though it wasn't great, we dragged it through. We managed to make some magic happen, and we managed to pick up our 2nd race win of the season. And I think we retake the Drivers' Championship lead, but we'll have to wait and see in a moment to see how everything stacks up exactly in there. But as you can see, I'm on the top step of the podium, and I've got 2 Ferrari drivers to either side. Unfortunately, Lewis couldn't make anything happen in the closing stages there, but still 25 points for the boys to take back to Brackley. And what a race that was. What a result. And yeah, I'm actually really intrigued to see what the standings are after that race, because I think the top 4 are so close at the minute. But let's have a look at the race results first, and then we will look at the drivers and constructors standings. Right, so looking at the final race results, we win the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen rounding out the podium. Then Lewis Hamilton gets 4th place ahead of Esteban Ocon, who put in a very impressive performance, only 10 seconds off the lead in the Force India. I've got to say, very impressive this weekend, the Force Indias, really on the pace. But then Max Verstappen in P6, the best Red Bull ahead of Sergio Perez. Then Kevin Magnussen, Danny Kvyat and Julian Palmer round out the point scoring positions. And if we scroll further down the order here, Romain Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo retire from the race. Carlos Sainz 1 lap down due to a few issues, I believe. But in terms of the driver standings, you can see that the top 4 covered by 12 points, and I've got an 8-point lead, whilst the other 3 guys I'm battling with are covered by 4 points already. So this is going to be, I think, a sign of things to come, exactly how close the championship will be. In terms of the constructor standings, you can see that we are still holding first place, 8 points ahead of Ferrari. So it's neck and neck between the 2 big boys in the championship. But we're now going to move into the laptop and see how things shape up after that race. Okay, so thinking ahead, once again, another durability upgrade. I know this is very boring for you guys, but I promise we will start upgrading the car soon. But we are going to purchase the turbocharger upgrade, which should arrive for the next race in Russia. So that one's going to go on the car there. And after that, we will purchase level 2 of these two here. So MGUK, MGUH, and then also gearbox as well. Very important. The gearbox will probably be the next upgrade that I'll do after the next race in Russia, because the MGU upgrades are not as important, but they need to be done anyway. And then once we've done those and we've got everything on at least level 2, then we can relax a bit and start improving the performance of the car. But I've also got one eye on this upgrade here, which is the RCE level wear 3, because then that would give us the opportunity to upgrade this one here, which is a major fuel upgrade. So that's something to keep an eye on. But other than that, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this episode of Career Mode. And if you have enjoyed it, then please do slap a like on the video. Let's see if we can try and smash 300 likes for this episode. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and also do check out the videos on screen right now if you have missed any of them. And also do check out GT Omega in the links down below in the description, and use the code TOM97 for a cheeky 5% discount at checkout. But other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.